I'm so pleased to welcome State Representative Sue Scheer back to the campus to Richland Community College. This is twice in 1 week, and we're so glad to have you here for another celebration of our students. She's passionate about education, and I know she's going to share some of her background with you in just a moment. More importantly, she lives her passion. As a mother, an educator, and now through her service on the House of Representatives Higher Education Committee, she's an advocate for education. Several weeks ago, I had the privilege of having lunch with her in my office, and I was so impressed with her knowledge and understanding of dual credit, which we all know includes high school students who are taking both high school and college credit for the college courses that they're taking. She shared with me the expectations regarding dual credit, that she's really impressed on her own children, and I hope she's going to share some of that with you this morning. So Representative Scheer, thank you for being with us here this morning, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say at the podium.
Well, this is one of the real easy ones, because all I do is tell you my life story. It just isn't that hard. I don't need any notes or anything, but, well, I guess you want to hear my life story. It seems kind of strange to me, but anyway, I'm right at home here because I have taught in this exact spot before, because I taught for, it's a group called Connecting Link, and I was actually an adjunct professor through the University of St. Francis, but I taught here in Decatur, so we rented space here in Salon 1 some summers and sometimes in Salon 2 or both or whatever. And so I taught right in these salons in the summer when teachers went back to school. And then we, you know, I was kind of a non-traditional teacher. We don't just sit and do pencil and paper. So we had activities and we needed more room because our seats were all full in there. So we came out here and used this wide open space. And I think that's why I'm noticing the changes so much, because I can tell you exactly what that carpet used to look like and what the walls used to look like, because I spent a lot of time right here. So anyway, I've always had a wonderful place in my heart with Richland, because that was sort of a dream that I felt about my own. That I taught elementary school for 30-some years, but I just always wanted to teach teachers. I just felt that was something I wanted to share. I really didn't want to be a principal. I just wanted to teach teachers like methods and how to teach. So that's how I got into that Connecting Link thing. And so I did this for, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many summers I was out here, and like also weekends and evenings. I've got a parent of a student back there, and I was probably teaching her daughter when I was doing this. But so anyway, that's where my journey with Richland began. And then I have taken classes here my own self, yoga and things like that, just, you know, I absolutely love yoga. So I've walked through this door and down the hall to yoga 40 million times. And it's funny, the day that I kind of agreed to run for office, I said, well, there's just one thing I can't give up, and that's my yoga at Richland. And back then it was Karen Murley. I don't know if you guys remember her, but I loved her to death. But she was the instructor. But I still remember the head of the IEA saying, Sue, I just don't think you're going to have time. And I'm like, oh, I'll have plenty of time. It's only an hour a week. I'll have plenty of time. She says, well, you can try it, but I don't think so. And so I thought, well, all right, I'll take her word for it. Oh my goodness, there's somebody from my yoga class right over. You took yoga with me, didn't you? That's funny. Okay, so anyway, I thought, all right, well, I better not. I'm thrifty, so I'm not going to waste the money, you know, and join yoga if I can't even go. So I thought, I found out from Karen the class wasn't that full, and so I was going to just kind of do it. And I thought, all right, as soon as Wednesday night comes, 5:30, I'll just go out. It was like 3 weeks later, and I thought, oh my, I didn't even remember that I even thought about going to yoga, and now I see what she means. If you don't even have time to, you know, wake up and say hello to your family hardly, you certainly don't have time to drive to Richland, take a yoga class, and go home. So that, unfortunately, was the end of my yoga, was running for office. So maybe someday I can find enough time to go back to that. But so that's my own personal experience with Richland. So then with my own kids, 4 kids through Stephen Decatur, MacArthur, St. Teresa, doesn't matter what school you're at, they all did dual credit. Every last one of them did dual credit. It transitioned through their time. So like when my oldest Beth was here, she kind of had to wiggle her schedule around, and I saw that struggle trying to get out here in time for class. And then with the others with sports and trying to get back to high school in time for practice or games. And I was always impressed how, even though I felt like in high school my kids were trying to kind of get a one-up by going to college early, I felt like Richland was not saying, hey, here we are, you work it out, take it or leave it. I felt it was just the opposite. I felt like it was, we will do whatever it takes to help you be successful. So if we can, you know, move a time around a little bit so that the kids have time to drive here from MacArthur, or, you know, if we can work our schedule out a little bit so more kids can make it, they were willing to do it. And I thank everybody here that had a part in that, because had they not done that, my kids would not have done the dual credit, because at that point, you know, their own high school life was important, and as it well should be. So by the time my son got through, he's the fourth in the journey, 8 years later, they were bringing the classes to his school, and I mean, it was just, you know, I kept telling him, Tyler, you are nuts if you don't do this. You are nuts, and I would explain why. And so all my kids go into college as like sophomores, or at the very least second semester freshmen. And it's purely because of Richland. So then that gives them a one-up on trying to get classes, because then they enroll in their classes before all the next semester freshmen do. It was a huge advantage. So a couple of them took summer classes here, which were wonderful experiences for them. It might have been a class they couldn't fit in their schedule at U of I or at ISU, and you know, then another one took a class because she couldn't figure out her major, and she took accounting and thought, well, I want to see if I want business. And then she took accounting. She's like, no, I don't really like that. I'm not going to take business. I'm going to switch over to marketing. And so I've got so many stories. I can't, you guys don't want to listen to me all day, but I mean, there's just a whole lot of experiences in my own children's lives that I just can't tell you how appreciative our family is. And it made it affordable. All four of my kids graduated on time in 4 years. And as you well know, that just doesn't happen anymore. It would not have happened. Guaranteed, none of my kids would have graduated in 4 years if it hadn't been for Richland. There's no way. They all went all 4 years to a four-year school, UIS, U of I, or ISU. But, you know, there's just no way to get through, because they were still taking some overload semesters. You just can't do it unless you do some summers here or dual credit. You know, I'm a firm believer now in dual credit, because college is so expensive. It's really hard for kids to go in the summer because you're trying to get them to work as much as they can find jobs for. So with dual credit, it doesn't interfere with them being able to work. But then you can't throw the summers out either, because sometimes that's the one thing that gets that one class so that they can graduate on time. So anyway, enough about all that. Thank you for doing what you do. From my family, bottom of our heart, we appreciate it. I'm a teacher. I know nobody does this for the money. You do it because you love kids and you want to help people. And, you know, that's why I'm doing this other job that I'm doing now, is I really just want to help people and help give back. I'm glad I'm on the higher ed committee, because when they ask questions, I feel like I come from a different perspective, because having had 4 kids just go through state schools and junior colleges, I come with a different perspective than someone, you know, who hasn't been through that yet. And being a teacher, of course, too. So thank you for all you do. I can't hardly wait for this building to be done. I'm already anxious. We haven't even turned the dirt yet, but I can't wait. I keep telling my husband, you won't believe how big it is. It's like a third of the size of Richland. I can't wait to see how big it's going to be. And I know a lot of kids that I've said, go out to that welding class at Richland. I know you can get a job in welding, you know, and when they don't know where to turn or what to do, it's a great first step for everybody. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all you've done. It's so humbling. I can't believe I'm even standing here saying this. It's like you're listening to me like I know anything. So it's, It's really something. And thank you all, too, for your support in my journey. I really appreciate it. This isn't a one-man show. It's a we here in Macon County. We are all together in this. So if you need any help on anything at all, don't hesitate to call me or stop by our office. Thank you.
Thanks, Representative Scheer. We have a few other speakers that we'd like to add to this conversation this morning. I would like to introduce Vice President Dr. Todd Treat, who is going to be introducing everything about the Transfer Academy.
Thank you and good morning. I'd like to echo Dr. Saunders' remarks in welcoming all of you and in thanking Representative Scheer for her commitment to educational attainment here in the district, and also thanking the faculty and staff here at Richland Community College for their commitment to dual credit and completion with quality. In particular, I'd like to thank Kathy Seebach for her fine work on the Transfer Academy, and also our new dean, Dr. Denise Cruz, who has been working with us on what we call a listening tour with area high schools. The Richland Transfer Academy represents a continuation of a model that we know is working really well, in which dual credit can provide students with affordable, high-quality college credit at the same time they're in high school. The Heartland Technical Academy provided a wonderful model for us when we began to look at transfer credits and how we might provide an opportunity for students to come to Richland's campus in a half-day format and receive a considerable amount of credits, in many cases reaching sophomore status, in some cases being able to actually graduate with an associate's degree at the same time they're graduating from high school. But none of that could occur if it weren't for the wonderful partnerships we've been establishing with the area high schools. And in a few moments, I will be excited to thank in person a few of the superintendents who have come to join us. But before that, I want to just speak to the results of the Richland Transfer Academy in the previous semester. 5 high schools and 25 students have been on Richland Community College's campus as part of the Richland Transfer Academy in the last semester. Those students have earned an average of 10 credit hours, all transferable to public 4-year institutions here in the state of Illinois, and have earned an average grade point average of 3.12, which is quite good. These are high-performing students, college-ready students who have been carefully selected by the superintendents, principals, and counselors on the area high school campuses. And without their support and help in designing this model, we would wonder if such success would be possible. But we're delighted to report those results, and I'm especially delighted to thank Argena Oriena, Sarah Gordo, the Lutheran LSA, the Lutheran School Association, Mount Zion, and Central A&M. And with that, what I'd really like to do is introduce to you the superintendents and in some cases a few of our students, starting with Superintendent Travis Roundcount from Mount Zion. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you all for coming and attending and showing your support for what we're doing for the kids in the community. Representative Scheer, thank you for being here and saying the kind words about our students and the programs. And don't feel bad about not attending yoga recently. I haven't either. The program, the Transfer Academy, has more great things taking place than what we can really speak about in a couple minutes. And you know, I know there's more people speaking and even some students, so I don't want to go on too long. But from what I see at the high school level and the effect on the high school kids, it's just a wonderful opportunity for them to be able to take college credit classes while they're in high school, give them a jump start on their college career and even post-college. You know, I still hope that they spend 4 years in college, but then they come out with a master's instead of a bachelor's. You know, the intent isn't to shortchange their education or to provide them any less. Obviously, we think we can provide, or Richland can provide that associate's degree at the same time that they graduate high school, which I think this idea will catch on. It's new, it's in early stages. You know, we're going to have a handful of students in the program last year. We're going to have maybe double that this year. I expect even more than that, maybe double the year after that. It's a great idea. When I talk to parents about it, the parents' responses are, well, why wouldn't anybody do that? And I think that's the question right now is, why isn't anybody and everybody, wanting to do this? And I think as they start seeing kids graduate from our high schools, and at our graduations, we're recognizing those that are having associate's degrees at the same time, the wheels will start turning for more parents and families saying, boy, I need to get my next child in that program. So I appreciate everybody that's making this such a success, and I hope it continues to happen for kids in the future. Thank you, Dr. Saunders, and everybody at Richland that's allowed this to happen, and we look forward to good things to come. Thank you.
And at this time, I'm delighted to invite Kyle Karsten, superintendent from LSA, to arrive. Thank you, sir.
Well, I'll say good morning to each of you too. Kyle Karsten, the superintendent at the Lutheran School. I think one of the greatest things in this relationship that we have with Richland is we're only 5 minutes down the road. And so for that opportunity to have both on campus at the LSA, there on Mound Road, to have Richland professors come in and teach those dual credit classes on campus, that's where our relationship started. And then we have also had our students come on to the campus. To add the Transfer Academy to this equation, we're just excited to offer that to our students. We talk about college prep at all of our high schools. This isn't just for college credit, but these are college level classes that our students are taking. And it's whatever college they would go on to, we feel like they are more and more ready to be in that college environment. True college prep is continued with this Transfer Academy opportunity. We've been a high school that's only been in existence for 12 years, and we're coming up on 200 students. That was a big part of the last 3 years, kind of adding to the academic setting of a relatively new and a relatively young high school, and that was our relationship with Richland. For Gail and Todd to 3 years ago give me a tour of this place, and I've been at other high schools that don't have the opportunity for a community college to be this close and this opportunistic for the education. Decatur doesn't know what they have, and in all of these high schools, seeing what this Transfer Academy will do, I echo the same things that all these guys are going to say. What an awesome opportunity for our kids to earn the credit, but to be college ready as they move on. It's been a privilege in the 4 years that I've been here to get to know these people at Richland, and I think it's just one more example of this community. Here's high school and a community college coming together to better our kids and to better the future of our community. So I'm happy to be part of it, and I want to thank Richland and Sue for being here and supporting this too. We're excited to see what is taking place, but we're even more excited to see what is going to take place in the future. So thank you.
And now please welcome Brett Robinson, superintendent from Cerro Gordo, who I think brought a few guests.
I'd also like to thank everyone for being here today, and Richland for working with the area high schools and being so open to listen. And Todd talked about the listening tour that he and Dr. Cruz have been taking. They took it last year, Dr. Treat did, and it's just been wonderful for the students. They're the beneficiaries of that openness and listening to how we can provide a more seamless transition from students coming from high school and into the college setting here at Richland. It's been a great experience for our students, and without further ado, I think it's going to be great for everyone out there to hear from some of the students. And I've brought with me today Brittany York and Christy Krigbaum, and I'm going to ask them to talk about their experience here at the Transfer Academy. Ladies?
Hi, I'm Brittany York. I'm currently a senior. This year has definitely been really hard. It's a new experience to have college classes here. It's really nice though, because all my teachers at Cerro Gordo are really accommodating. They help me if I need help. And teachers here are also very accommodating. They do the same thing. It's nice to get a head start because, one, our school pays for our classes, and that's really nice because I do have troubles worrying about like paying for school, so it's nice to get a head start and get some of my classes out of the way. But overall, I think it's going to help me out a lot, and I'm really glad that our school allows us to do this, but thank you.
My name is Christy Krigbaum, and I'm a junior at Cerro Gordo High School. And this year has been really challenging, but it's also been great as well. I have gotten a really good head start on college here this year, and by the time I graduate, I should be really close to getting my associate's degree the summer semester after I graduate high school. And I'm really thankful to Cerro Gordo School Board for allowing us this opportunity to come here and take dual credit classes, and it's really great, so thank you.
Thank you, ladies. We're very proud of our students and what they've accomplished here, and for the professors that have worked with them in helping ease this transition. Again, I encourage students and administrators in the other districts to encourage your students to come here and experience this great opportunity. And again, once again, I would like to thank Richland for all that they do in helping make a seamless transition for the students of our area. Thank you.
And I would like to say just a little bit more in congratulating our students. These students are three-quarter-time students at a community college. At the same time, they're full-time students in a high school, and at the same time, they're participating in extracurricular activities like sports and music and so forth. So it's a real testament to the hard work of students who are committed to their education that they're able to do that. And so I just want to say congratulations to you both. We continue to work with the area high schools to provide innovative ways that we can partner, whether it's a virtual opportunity at Sangamon Valley or some STEM activities we're thinking about up at Clinton, or curriculum alignment opportunities with Cerro Gordo. We continue to reach out, and we're finding a wonderful partnership in advancing the educational attainment of this district. And so I just want to thank you all for coming, and at this time, I'd like to turn the podium back over to Dr. Saunders.
You know, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony the other day for a very large new facility on Richland's campus, the Workforce Development Institute, which we think is going to continue to serve many people in the future, particularly our high school students who are transitioning into a college level education so that they can enter into the careers of their choice. But it's testimonies like we're having this morning and conversations about what makes for good student success and for our students to become outstanding adults raising their families and having great careers that matters the most, and that's what Richland Community College is really all about. And so a moment like this morning, listening to our superintendents and listening to our students, and of course listening to the personal testimony that Representative Scheer has given us regarding her own experiences and her family's experiences with education delivery in Central Illinois, and particularly through Richland Community College, is much more meaningful to me than anything we could have done on Tuesday morning in recognizing that we have a new Workforce Development Institute coming online. So this morning, to me, is a tremendous opportunity to remind all of us what we're here for, and that is for the success of the students who are attending Richland Community College today and in the future. We've been recognized both in the state and federally for the many kinds of contributions that Richland Community College has given to dual credit, to giving our students the head start and the seamless educational opportunities into higher education. And this is another representation of those kinds of efforts that we're trying to do that are maybe a little more innovative and a little more creative in terms of getting seamless education highways established for education in Central Illinois, and particularly here in our district. The Richland Transfer Academy is just another example of how Richland Community College connects with our area high schools to provide educational opportunities that benefit our students, their high schools, and our communities. I do want to take an opportunity again to thank Representative Sue Scheer for her support of Richland and in the seamless education delivery through higher education. To our superintendents, we couldn't do this, particularly provide any of these kinds of opportunities if it wasn't for all of you. And this Transfer Academy is a testimony to your absolute dedication and commitment to your students and to their successes in the future. And I appreciate our relationship, and I look forward to our continued partnership. Most importantly, our students. Outstanding, you've done a great job. And I hope for nothing but the very best for you in the future. Not only best wishes, keep up the good work. It's not easy, I know it. We are a rigorous college institution, and you've had to experience that rigor, I know, last semester and now this spring. But it's through those hard efforts that you're taking now that are going to make your dreams come true in the future. So we look forward to seeing your success and seeing you as outstanding citizens in our communities in the future. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. And if there are any questions that anyone has of the representative or our superintendents or of us, we're happy to answer them. Thank you for being here.